What is up, you guys? It's Marissa with Barely Keeping It Together, and today I want to talk to you all about the habits of the most successful people in the world. Let's get into it. This is Barely Keeping It Together. All right, guys, I have done a ton of research about the habits of the most successful people with long-term and sustained success. So I want to go over everything that I have found out with you, but what I'm going to do is a little different than usual, and I'm going to take you over to my computer and we are going to hop on there so we can talk about all of the best habits that I discovered, and I can walk you through them all in a logical fashion. So let's get over to my computer. Okay, you guys, so what I wanted to do was go through all of the information that I found as I was researching the habits of the most successful people in the world. And basically what I was able to discover was that everything in terms of their habits broke down into three different categories. And those categories are mindset, physical, and efficacy. Now, there is absolutely some sort of like lapping over of habits within all three categories. And by far, the largest category in terms of importance and habits that the most successful people in the world are practicing on a regular and daily basis are mindset habits. I would say it's like, honestly, probably like 75% of the habits are all around the area of mindset. So what I wanted to do was actually take this opportunity and get into some of the practices as well as the habits associated with the most successful people in the world. So whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is you want to be successful in, whether it is your personal life, launching a business, being a social media mogul, being the best mother in the world, here are some habits that you can incorporate. So whatever your goals are, that you can be as successful as you want to be. So the first thing I want to do is talk about the three sets of practices that you should be incorporating in your day-to-day life. And those are meditation, journaling, and visualization. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you you have to do, this specific type of meditation, this specific type of journaling or visualization. But what you want to do is you want to research and try the different forms of all of these practices, find out which one works best for you, and incorporate those into your daily habits. Now, you will see that many successful people always talk about morning routines, and a lot of them also talk about evening routines. And what I would suggest for you is creating morning, evening, and just ritualized routines that include a lot of the mindset practices that you want. So you might wake up and do meditations, or you might do meditations before bed. Same thing with journaling and visualizations as well. Now, I will tell you on a personal note, I am absolutely obsessed with my visualizations. And of course I do mindset or meditation and journaling as well. But I spend a lot of time in visualization every single day, everything from my dream board to my vision video, as well as literally sitting down and doing actual visualization work every single day, just because I find it incredibly inspiring. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is habits that you can create from these mindset practices. So some of the habits I want to talk about for successful people in terms of dealing with any negative thoughts or negative headspace that you get in, because as a successful person, you want to have the skill set to turn around from being in a negative headspace to a positive headspace as soon as possible. So some of the habits that I would suggest for you based upon extensive research are: one, focusing on things that you can control. So there are so many things on a daily basis that are going to be outside of our control every single day, and focusing on the elements that you have control of is going to be what allows you to, for lack of a better phrase, take control in your life and take action where you can. Because when you focus on what you can control, you are doing needle moving activities rather than focusing on things that really are not within your realm of ability. Beyond that, people who are successful to deal with their negative thoughts also use mantras. So You can have identified some limiting beliefs that you may have in your life, or you may have something that you continue to struggle with, and having a positive mantra that you say to yourself throughout the day, during meditation, or in the mirror is going to allow you to become a more positive person and help you deal with any negative thoughts that you have. Now, I also always like to mention the habit of auditing your media consumption, because we are the culmination of the people and the voices that we surround ourselves with. And the media that we actually consume affects us on a day-to-day basis more than we realize. So we know that if our friends and family are negative, we're going to be negative. But also, if we're binge watching reality TV, our mindset isn't going to be as positive as if we are consuming inspiring content on a regular basis. So to get out of a negative headspace, definitely audit the media consumption that you have. And then the last thing I want to talk about is practicing reframing. And what reframing is, it's basically if you're having a certain mindset about something and then you consciously go in and choose to change your perspective. So it's the idea of changing from I have to I get to. And when you look at your life in the perspective of I get to, you're going to be a lot happier and not have a negative mindset. Now, the next topic I want to talk about is how to feel more joy in your life. And there are 3 habits here. The first thing is celebrating your accomplishments. So many people are guilty of just moving from one thing to the next without taking the time to actually celebrate small and large accomplishments. And by taking this time, you're going to feel more joy on a regular basis. Now, also people who feel more joy reflect on their gratitude daily. It is so easy to go through life and not feel grateful for the small things, whether it was our hot cup of coffee, for me, a snuggle with my dog, or a good book. And if I don't take time to actually reflect on that on a daily basis, it would be so easy to take those things for granted. And then the last thing is that people who feel more joy dedicate time to their personal relationships. It's, again, so easy to get caught up in the hustle and grind of every single day life. And if you take time, pencil it out, put it in your calendar, and dedicate to personal relationships, you're going to feel so much more joy in this world. Now, also in terms of habits around successful people, people who have success face their fears. And there's some habits that they have that allow them to face their fears. So first thing I want to talk about is regularly identifying limiting beliefs. Now, I do this often through journaling, but there are also meditations and other work that you can do around this. But identifying where you have limiting beliefs is going to allow you to create a plan to deal with your limiting beliefs. So start journaling, start meditating around those mindset practices, and you're going to start identifying where you're not showing up and where you're having consistent issues in your life. Now, the next thing here is acknowledging fear and saying, you know what? This makes me feel nervous. This makes me feel scared. And guess what? That is okay, because it allows you to move to the third habit, which is accepting fear as a perpetual issue. Fear never goes away. It can change shapes. It can change forms. You can approach a new fear. You can move past a certain fear and move on to something bigger. But fear is going to be, if you're a person who's interested in personal development and self-growth, it's going to be something that you battle for your entire life. So accepting that it's something that is ongoing, and mental work and meditation, journaling, and visualization as a forever practice, not just as a right now practice. Those are the people who constantly face their fears. And then the last thing is they take action regardless of their fears. So many people and so many times we allow our fears to stop us from taking action, when in reality, if we just face them, we would be able to squash them and realize, no, I still can do that. Now, the last topic I want to talk about is the most successful people in the world have habits all around their personal and professional growth. So they are constantly sharpening their own saw and seeking personal improvement. So small habits that you can incorporate on a daily basis would be reading for your own personal development. Now, whether this is in your own niche, if it's in your own industry, or if it is just personal development in general, if you want to be an incredibly successful person, you need to regularly consume content for personal development. Next thing is surrounding yourself with intelligent people. This comes back to the concept of we are the culmination of the 5 people we spend the most time with. Do you want to surround yourself with dummies and be another dummy, or do you want to be the dumbest person in the room and constantly being up-leveling your own intelligence by the other intelligence in the room with you? So successful people are always surrounding themselves with incredibly intelligent people that are up-leveling themselves, and that's something that you should be doing as well. Now, this seems a little off topic, but successful people have unrelated hobbies to whatever their goal is. So let's say it's a CFO of a company. They might be super into kickboxing because if they fill their own cup first, if they feel joy outside of whatever their specific industry or niche is, they're going to be able to give so much more in life towards their career and their development and their growth because they feel that their own personal cup is filled up first. And then the last thing I want to mention is successful people work with coaches. Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, these people did not get to their level without coaching and helping. And it is the same thing for any type of goal. It is not a surprise that there is executive coaches, there are life coaches, there are relationship coaches, right? There are business coaches, because these people help you sharpen your saw, up level, point out where you're not doing so well, and they let you take yourself to the next level. So that is another habit of highly successful people. Last thing I want to do is I want to leave you guys with a little bit of homework, which is incorporating mindset practices into your everyday life. I have 3 assignments for you, which the first is find a meditation practice that works for you. Trial and error here, baby. Figure out what sort of meditation works for you and incorporate it into your life daily. Practice different types of journaling. So it can be prompted, it can be unprompted, it can be from a book assignment. There are all different types of journaling, but you need to get your pen on paper and clear out your brain because this is going to help your mindset so much. And then the third is to create a visualization practice that works for you. Now, I will tell you, I created a vision video, which is literally a vision board in video format. I can actually link a video by Erin Henry, who is my coach, and she explains how to make a vision video. I'll link that down in the description below. But I love my vision video. I also have a vision board. I will link that video up in the top left-hand corner of how to make your own vision board. And also do a 2-minute visualization practice every single morning. So spend time visualizing the life that you want, because if you don't know what you're working towards, how the heck are you going to get there? You know what I'm saying? So those are your 3 assignments from this video. Now, you guys, if you did enjoy this today, I actually spent a ton of time researching the habits of the most successful people in the world. And this is just me scratching the surface level here of information. I was able to put together a masterclass for you that you are able to access from my website. I'm going to link it in the description below. But if you guys go to barelykeepingittogether.com, you will be able to access a free masterclass that I have put together for you. And it is all about super in-depth the habits of the most successful people in the world, and then how you take action. So what are all the little steps that you can take to be one of the most successful people in the world and have success towards whatever goals it is that you are striving towards in life. So I really recommend check it out in my website. It's barelykeepingittogether.com. Again, I'm going to link it in the description below, and I think you guys are absolutely going to love free masterclass. So leave me a comment below and let me know what you think of the masterclass. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It does a lot to help out my channel. And as I mentioned a little bit earlier, down in the description below, I have linked my free masterclass, step-by-step process of obtaining the habits of the most successful people in the world, and I will walk you through that entire process. This is a ton of information, and I think it is going to be incredibly helpful because it's not just here's what they do, but it's here's what they do, and here is the process to actually obtain this in your own life. So if that's something that you're interested in, click the link below, and I would love to share that information with you. Otherwise, you guys can feel free to go follow me over on Instagram. My handle is @barelykeepingittogether, and I will chat with you later. Bye!